What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Billy Collins.
Matt Doje. This is another Oliver Anthony. Just ride this gravy train.
Just keep on.
I like
going.
gravy.
He's not as relevant. The 7-foot ginger back again, but no, he is very tall.
Yeah, he is tall. He was on Rogan and he looked like you.
So this is Doggone It. This is a song that Young Jock said y'all got to listen to this.
I've never heard. I didn't even know it existed.
What's it about?
I heard him on an interview saying this was the song that, like,
He was on Rogan.
he
Right?
said something about it.
He thought this was
If that
this
helps.
was the one that was going to blow up. He
Yeah,
thought it was.
This was his.
And you know what? I might have made that up too.
We're just gonna go with
It's
it.
like
And, and now
taking
I
kid
know.
fishing right now.
Make a wish.
Thanks.
I'm like JJ Watt, breaking the record. Okay, so we're doing Doggone It, which sounds like something any Southern guy says when he stubs his toe.
Stubs his toe. I was thinking, dog, dude, when your pinky toe gets caught on the coffee table.
Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up and there's a war in the making. People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone it. Needles in the streets, folks hardly surviving on sidewalks next to highways full of cars self-driving. The poor keep hurting, the rich keep thriving. Doggone it.
I really wish he had a producer right now, because the whole like Batman half face thing is.
That was a tip of the cap to Bill Gates talking about eating bugs. And this sounds, it has like a similar vibe. It
I
sounds
also
like
know
Richmond,
people
north of
who
Richmond.
would eat a bug before they ate bacon.
Someone needs to say, yo, just back up just a little bit.
There's a little town somewhere. The only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. The only time traffic backs up is when that old sweet Norfolk Southern train's humming. With me and the dog on it. Just me and the dog on it.
He's got great
The
teeth.
people's crying about burning coal, but not the poor souls who's digging it. I reckon there's been a many good men in the grave trying to keep our houses lit. From down in the oil fields and the pipelines and the linemen and the coal mines, so we can sit at home and plug in a newfangled bullshit. And Republicans, Democrats, Lord, I swear they're all just full of crap. I ain't never seen a good city slicking bureaucrat. There's a little town somewhere. The only thing you hear at night is that old mill humming. The only time traffic backs up when that old sweet Norfolk Southern train's running. With me and the dog on it. Just me and the dog on it. Lord, my head's been hurting, my back's been aching, the water's drying up and there's a war in the making. People eating bugs 'cause they won't eat bacon. Doggone it.
That was
He's the type of dude, like, he legitimately could sing the phone book.
It's just
Gosh,
you're captivated. I was the whole
I
time.
just sit there and smile like a proud. I don't know. It's weird.
It is. It sparks a different emotion every time you hear him sing, and it's weird because we're supposed to be reacting to it, but I don't want to interrupt him, man.
No,
even though I can
no.
hit the damn stop button.
He's like I said in the video before with him. It's like Coulter Wall. Like anything he sings, I know I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
You know, I've said before on shows, like, people don't listen to you because they like you, because they trust you or whatever, or they believe you. They listen to you to see if you believe what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think he believes because he has a center. He has an agenda, the same agenda in every song. I mean, it's like let's bring common sense back to where we live.
Yeah, especially those songs. His agenda was, he was recording on his phone.
Yeah,
Like he wasn't
but
recording on a label and doing all that. Which nothing wrong with that, whatever. But you can feel the difference in the tone.
I just like the line that Republicans and Democrats are
Uniparty,
full of shit.
It's professional wrestling. And I heard Rogan talk about that. The more you look into politics, the more... I said that after the last election. I'm like, bro, politics, it's professional wrestling. I remember finding out wrestling was fake. And you're like, you feel betrayed? Sorry. You feel betrayed, but then you're like, you know what, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
And that's the same way our government has become. And I don't know.
I think it's always been that way. It just has only showed itself recently.
Yeah, I guess it's showing what, like you said, showing it. But I just feel like it's different because I'm a lot older than you guys, and when I was younger, it was
A lot.
It wasn't as prominent as it is today. I mean, you had like Reagan come out, and everybody's just in awe, and you really didn't have anybody kind of coming up and trying to challenge him and what he was saying. But now everyone has an agenda, and it's kind of like dog somebody so down instead of actually boosting somebody. What happened to the days of like, okay, we have a president, we're going to support him no matter what. I just can't support our president.
I don't think that happened when Reagan was there either, though, right? Like
He pretty much had to support.
when he was in office, like he was getting roasted,
Yeah,
like all the time.
Well,
but like there
not
was
like-
people
but
have been-
social media is a lot different with all that. now,
perception's reality, and now when we went from radio to video, that's like right when JFK. Now it like your appearance was much more important. Go look at some of the old presidents; they're hideous.
Yeah.
They would have never made it in front of a camera.
Is that where the joke "face meant for radio" kind of came out?
Yeah, face made for radio, voice
Yeah.
made for print.
Yeah.
There is those undertones that he's like, bro, both sides. Like I love to say, they all play at the same country club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like the reaction we did to try that in a small town, and we see it, and you're like, dude's in like a $2,000 leather everything with 2 earrings, and you're just like, bro, when's the last time you've been in a small town?
Yeah, exactly.
Like that
Exactly.
you weren't.
And good for him, he made it out.
Love
Did whatever he had to do. But when he got that song across his desk, whatever. We won't talk about that. But
pandering's pandering, and this guy, I'm telling you, man, listening to him, I just sit there and smile.
I just see like him, and when he had the interview with Joe Rogan and stuff, because Joe Rogan's kind of like on the same. You don't know where he lies.
Joe,
I guess he's
too
more
cold to have an
Democrat.
opinion. Right?
Yeah, he's like, I just want to live.
I love pissing Chris off with that.
I just want to go out and shoot
he
shit.
loves, he makes me mad when it doesn't fuck with me at all.
Chris is so mad.
But is this going to like? You think it'll spawn another party, or like a realist party, or I don't know.
I don't know if there will ever be a third party where it really matters. What it could be is where the third party gets enough votes to where one of the major parties pulls their beliefs.
And
Maybe.
Love him
I
or
don't
hate
know.
him, Trump. If you love him or hate him, he went after Democrats. He went after Republicans. I mean,
It's not love him or hate
And
him,
he
it's love him.
he originally ran as an independent back in the day, and a lot of people say, well, if you run as an independent, you're taking votes from
this party or that
you
party.
know, and typically it's taking votes from the Republican Party. I have been so out of politics after this last election. I have never been more. I stayed up.
Just confused.
I stayed up, and I'm just like, don't trust your lying eyes, you know. And the more you learn, the less you know. But I was like, man, if this thing I feel so convicted on is true, both sides are into it, are in on it.
Yeah.
For it to be true, like I always said, like the mob couldn't exist without some cops being on their payroll.
Yeah.
You know, so I just, it's like sports fans. Fan is short for fanatic. This is my team. This is our team. And you start to see, like, bro, neither one of them are hanging out with us.
Nah.
We're not signing a big contract.
And I wouldn't either if I was them. Neither Republican or Democrat.
Who gives a flying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Politics is Hollywood for ugly people.
I have to say that was at first I wasn't going to give it much thought, and now after listening to it, I'm like, wow, it's kind of like more endearing than maybe the other song.
Yeah. I would agree 100%.
He's
on
one of
that.
those artists, where you're like, I just need a playlist with all this stuff and just keep it on repeat. Another artist that I love, if you like Oliver Anthony, a guy named Benjamin Todd, he's a little bit different, but he sings. You can tell when people are singing.
Was that WVU too?
Not WV, Radio WV. But anyway, he did some stuff like that. But Benjamin Todd is another one of those.
The music that we made together like glorified suicide and death and misery. And after that, I realized that like that played a role in it. Words are powerful. You can change the world.
I'm fighting off my demons, but they're not quite dead. With a single-barreled shotgun and Johnny Walker Red. But when the bottle is empty, oh, the gun's to my head, and I regret.
You can tell when someone's talking that you're like, may not agree with it, but I can tell
He did it.
he's not imagining it. This wasn't in a think tank with all that stuff. It's no, he actually did it. And it's crazy recording on an Android, as he said, probably about 7 feet too close to the camera. But you know why he had to do that? Because he was getting picked up on the mic of the actual camera.
And you know he's a real artist because he wanted to make sure people knew he was playing the guitar.
Yeah.
That's the part he didn't crop out.
Yeah, he's a beast.
What I will say about that song, just one thing that stuck out about the actual lyrics is when he was talking about in a small town, the only thing you hear is an old mill running. Here, we don't have mills, but I don't know if this is around the country, but you're like, is that thunder or are they doing bombing?
Yeah.
Is the military base
bases.
doing bombing again? And that's like where my head went, which was,
Or the biggest traffic jam being the train going by. Because we
You know
have
what's
one of the
crazy?
biggest ports.
our the traffic jam that we have right on 70 and 24 right there is Norfolk Southern.
Well, they always say you never hear anybody retire and move north. So
Yeah, this is true.
We grew up here and we love it. And
Not only is it warmer, as Liz Texas.
life's a lot simpler when you realize it's professional wrestling. Like whether that's true or not, it just helps you. Because if
100%.
not,
Kind of
you
puts it in
spend-
perspective.
Well, both parties, they just argue about things that really, I shouldn't say they don't matter, but it's like, in order for the country to move forward another 4 years, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But the main things, the big banks, all the shit that they talk about, so
And also, I mean, that's
they're
what
on the same page and they're paid by the same people, probably the same amount.
I've quoted Reagan so many times where he said change begins at the dinner table, and the problem in the country is you have a lot of broken dinner tables. The older I get, the more appreciative I am of having
Every
the parents we have.
Every
Because I grew up, played college football, professional football, and was in locker rooms with guys that didn't have that. And
played high school football.
Yeah, but either
People
way,
didn't have it.
You're
Like,
right,
it
you're
was-
right. I thought that was the norm, and the more you get around, you're like, no, that's the exception.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
so many
Didn't
people
happen as
say
much
it's
anymore, but
weird.
Oliver Anthony delivers again.
Mhm.
Very pleased with the song. Kind
Doggone it, dude.
Tell you what,
Doggone it, did it again.
We might end up having an Oliver Anthony entire podcast show.
Yeah,
because
Oliver
I feel like
Anthony
there's a
show.
lot of
But
shit
then
things
Oliver
that
Anthony's
we-
not here, so.
Mhm.
But guys, do us a big favor: subscribe to the channel,
Smash the like button.
and we'll see you on the next video.
Peace.